This morning we saw a big jump in the PPI number. Headline number 0.6, core number 0.5, much higher than what the market was anticipating when they were looking for a 0.2 figure there. Initial reaction in the interest rates in the bond market was a little bit higher in rates, but then once traders and investors had a chance to digest those numbers, we did see some transient numbers in there, at least it was perceived as such, when we saw trade services being a big part of the jump, as well as the oil prices being a big part of that jump. And we know in the last couple of weeks we've seen oil come down significantly. So we saw traders discounting that. We saw reversal in rates. We saw the rates actually push down on the day across the board, the 2, the 10, and the 30 all down on the day. We continue to see this volatility in the market. I know the market's going to be focused on the CPI number next week, now that we did see a much stronger PPI number. Looking at the intraday volatility, that's still a significant theme down here. We're seeing gyrations. Yesterday's Fed announcement, we saw some gyrations in the market. Again, we saw some today. The market's still trying to assess what's going on in the equity markets as well. So we did see the 2-year push up to 10-year highs, but we saw the back end of the curve basically remain fairly consistent this week. We saw a high in the 10-year, we saw 318 was the actual low today. We saw 323.6 as the high. So again, we saw, a pretty decent intraday range there, but getting closing at 319, so at the lower end of the range for the day. As far as the Fed announcement, I think that's still filtering through the market. It's still trying to be priced in. We had a dress rehearsal yesterday for December, and it appears now, the game's on. So the news coming out of the Fed was basically they saw some moderation in the manufacturing center, but overall they still feel the economy's in pretty good strength. And then again, if we continue to see the potential for increased inflation numbers, you would expect that the Fed's going to maintain their trajectory. And that's once again why we're seeing rates, even though they moderated today, still holding at the high end of the range for the year.